Welcome to a brand new episode of The Untold. For today's episode, I'm hugely excited because whenever we have a guest who has seen the world, I feel extremely happy to talk with them, to see their, exploration of our beautiful earth. And for today's episode, we have Anwar Alkhaldi, who is an adventurer. He has been through mountains, all over the continents. I'm extremely happy to talk with him, discover all the ins and outs, the tricks, the tips, the guides about all of this. With that in mind, if it sounds curious to you, if that's something you're interested in, let's take a break and we'll come right back after this one. And we are back and joined by Anwar Alkhaldi. So first, I want to welcome you on joining us on The Untold.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really glad to be here and to share some of my stories and experiences that I had over the years.
And honestly, I'm so excited to dive into those experiences because as someone who has been traveling for a little bit, I would say, you know the application called BIN, where it tracks your countries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost near 30 countries, and I know it's not much, but it's always a goal of mine to see as much of the world as I can. So whenever we do have a guest who has seen a lot of the world, especially an adventurer like you, I'm always excited. And again, I do pass my thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, and let me add a point to whatever you say. What the traveling that we are doing is called adventure and a challenge to reach to an achievement. So we are not doing, let's say, the traditional traveling. No, we are doing a challenge traveling where we go for hikes and treks to reach the point that you cannot reach by any kind of transportation. Yeah, so the only thing you have to use are your legs.
It's your legs, your wits, your fitness
Your
levels.
strength, yes.
Yeah. It's you against the elements. And oh, I'm sorry. I do want to ask you about something before we dive into all of this, as it is customary in the Untold, is that we always go back to the starting point. So I want to ask you, how did you find yourself in all of this? Like, where did it all begin?
Yeah, as a Kuwaiti, I was born and raised in Kuwait, and I was into sports and just being an active kid. So again, started playing football, all these kind of sports, but I was not into nature. Everything started when I started my study in the United States, where I was exposed to a culture where they admire the nature, where you can find a lot of natural parks, where I took long walks. So things started there. It was the first seed that was planted in my life. And after I came back, I started working in one of the companies where life shifted to structure and demanding. So I took the hiking part of my life to be, let's say, to take me away from this kind of life and routine. And over the years, it developed and it became part of my life. Where I see adventure now, it's really part of my life. So, and again, answer your question, I was not an adventurer by nature. No, I became one.
Yeah. And it's honestly so inspiring and mashallah to always see people who grab, their plans and actually do them, right? It's not just a goal, it's something you actively pursue. And then when you came back to Kuwait, talk me about the first hike that you went to, the first mountain you went to, talk me about your adventures after you came through your studies.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, here in Kuwait, where we live, we don't have any mountains, or we don't have any places that we can hike.
Yeah.
So I chose a place which should be close to home and easy to climb. So my first choice was Jabal Shams in Oman, which is the highest mountain in GCC, about 3,100 meter above sea level. I thought it would be easy. I thought I could do it, and alhamdulillah, I did it.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
But I wasn't thinking about the, let's say, the impact that I would had after the trip. Standing on the top of the mountain, top of the, let's say, peaks in GCC, made me realize that I can do anything.
It's mashallah. It must be surreal.
It is.
Yeah.
It made me think that I can be on top of any mountain, top of the world. That's why the idea came to me to complete the 7 Summit Challenge, where you have to
mashallah.
climb all the highest mountain in each continent.
Yeah.
So that's why, again, I started by, alhamdulillah, achieving, and I already accomplished the highest mountain in Africa,
Mashallah.
which was Kilimanjaro mountain in Tanzania, and Mount Elbrus, highest mountain in Europe, in Russia.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to complete the remaining peaks.
So that's the lifelong plan of yours or goal of yours.
Yep, exactly, exactly. Beside that, I'm trying to teach or show the whoever in our country and other countries the idea of changing the traveling, traditional traveling,
Yeah.
into an adventure traveling, where you feel the achievement of completing the challenge, where you feel the happiness, not on the same moment, but beyond that,
Yeah.
even days or months. So I'm trying now to deliver this message to people.
And honestly, you're doing a great job because I've seen your socials and it's very inspiring, especially for someone who wants to be a traveler. But I want to go back to your hike of Jebel Shams. Because you did mention that there were some difficulties, especially as the first time. Like, talk me through the hard parts of climbing that mountain.
Yeah, as a beginner, everything was unfamiliar to me. Gear, pace, the pace when you walk. Things were new to me. Again, I thought it would be easy. So I was not prepared mentally. I was prepared physically, but I was not prepared mentally and as per equipment.
Yeah.
So these the 3 parts elements that you have to prepare in each trip. You have to prepare physically, mentally, and you have to prepare all your equipment.
Yeah.
So as a beginner, I was not prepared fully. So that's why I had difficulties. I didn't have the full gear. I didn't prepare mentally, where my mind was almost giving up.
Yeah.
Because I was tired. I was not prepared for this. By the time I saw the sunrise on the mountain,
Everything's worth it.
it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was a breathtaking moment.
And honestly, this reminds me of a documentary I watched. I forgot who it was, but it was a mountain climber. And he said that, the physical part was the easy thing for him. The mental part was the thing that really struggled with him, especially during the hard climbs, because he said that your body knows it can do stuff, but your mind is the obstacle in front of you.
Exactly. And, stepping out from your comfort zone is difficult. And when you decided to do so, there's so many elements you have to let's say, plan you have to follow. For me, I was doing everything solo, which I admit it was a mistake. I was supposed to follow at least guides or people who done it before. I did it solo, and I learned from my mistakes. That's why I'm trying to teach people to follow guides. It will be easier for them, and to avoid them to making mistakes.
Yeah, and also because so many of these treks, so a lot of people take these as entertainment kind of stuff, but they can be life-changing events. So extra caution, extra worries, extra, precautions and everything are a must.
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to tell whoever is going with me for trips, again, to prepare physically and mentally, and again, the equipment and gear.
Yeah.
These elements will prevent you from anything, and will help you reach your goal. For example, physically, you have to train your muscles. You have to do stretching. You have even to do some yogas.
Yeah.
Mentally, you have to teach yourself to step out of your comfort zone by eating anything is available, by sleeping anywhere.
Yeah.
You could sleep in too by adapting your body from warm weather into freezing weather. Sleeping on the floor, sleeping on soft sand, or even on rocks. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing exactly what to take, because sometimes if you overpack, then it will be hustle. You cannot reach to a point, and if you end up, or if you didn't take your equipment right, it might affect you. If you don't take the right shoes, it might affect you. If you don't take some layers or some jackets, it might affect you. So all of these things matters.
Yeah, I love how a lot of those things can seem trivial to people, but they add up. And all of them in this kind of situation can be, the deciding factor if you're making it out, alive, successful or not.
Yeah.
So many of these things add up. Honestly, it's such a dangerous sport, but to see you tackling it is so, inspiring, so, brings hope to me.
You see what I mean? I always tell people who ever ask me, when you score a goal, you feel happy. Okay, let's take this example. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. In 1990, Kuwait national team in a Gulf tournament in Kuwait played the last match with UAE.
Yeah.
And it was just a match because Kuwait already won the cup. So, and the score was 5-0. And one of the players, his name is Walid Nassar, he used to try to score a goal by shooting the ball from far away.
Yeah.
When he scored, his celebration was crazy.
Oh.
It was the 6th goal, yeah? And we already won the tournament. But he was crazy. You know why? Because this is what exactly happened to us. You know why? Because he tried so many times.
Yeah.
He tried. The goalkeeper saved. He tried. It was near the post. He tried. It hit the post. So when he scored, he was so happy. So that's what we feel when we reach the peak or the summit or the highest of the mountain. Because it's a hassle. It's difficult to get there. I'm not saying it's easy, but the moment you achieve this goal, it's unbelievable. And again, you will not feel it in the same moment. It will last until days, weeks, and months.
MashaAllah. And you say that, and I could 100% take all of that, to heart, because it's one of the few sports out there that it's really you, right? It's really you, against the element. There's no helping hand, there's no outside assistance. It's only you, your inner self, your mentality, your physicality, and you versus the world, basically.
Exactly. You don't have to compete with other people. It's not like when you lose. No, it's just again just you and you alone.
Yeah. That's a beautiful story. I could never dream of adding anything to it. So with that in mind, we are going to take a very quick break and we'll come right back after this one. We are back with Anwar Alkhaldi. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. Still, for the second part of this episode, I want to ask you about something. I know it's hard to put you on the spot. It's like, asking a parent to pick their favorite child. So out of all your destinations, what would you say was your most favorite?
No question, Everest Base Camp.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah, because going there, being in the Himalayas, it's amazing. Seeing the peaks, going up to the sky, the quietness, you will hear only your breath, your footsteps.
And the wind.
And the wind, exactly. You will have a time to be with yourself. Your inner peace will be at the highest. And all the problems will be solved.
MashaAllah.
This trip was amazing. We spent 10 days in this trip, 7 days going up and 3 days going down. I still feel it. I still remember it. And it is my favorite trip.
Would you say that the scenery, the views of this trip are your favorite as well? Or do you have other place that with the views alone that were the favorite?
Each place we went to has its own view and it has own, let's say, part. But EBC Everest Base Camp was different.
Mashallah.
Again, because all the Himalayas, as you know, it's 14 peaks, the highest peaks in the world in the Himalayas. I went to Alpes, which is the highest mountain in Europe, I told you. The views was amazing.
Yeah.
Even in Kilimanjaro, in Tanzania, when you started in the forest, and then you go into alpine desert, and then you go into a mountain when you see all these snows. It was amazing.
Mashallah.
ABC Everest Base Camp, or even the Himalayas, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Even if I describe it to you, you will not feel it until you see it. And the most important thing, the value of it is you cannot reach it. You cannot fly there.
Yeah.
You cannot drive there. You have to walk there.
You have to. Yeah.
You have to walk there.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, climbing Everest is a multiple days kind of process, right? It's not like you put your gear and then you go all the way. Like, how many days does it take to actually?
See, going to the Everest Base Camp, it's easy. You can do it again in 7 days.
Yeah.
Going into to Everest mountain, highest peak in the world, it takes approximately 40 to 50 days.
Oof, mashallah.
Where you have to go into camps, until 4 camps. The first camp everybody can reach to. This is where we reached. Then you have to go to second, third, and fourth camp. Why are you doing this? Everest mountain peak is at 8,884 meters above sea level.
Mashallah.
You cannot reach it by even the base camp, which is 5,346. You cannot reach it one time. There's something called altitude sickness.
Oh yeah.
You know, altitude sickness means you cannot go from 0 sea level until 5,000.
It's because the level of oxygen or something in the
Exactly.
air, right?
You have to do it gradually, and because as high as you go, as low oxygen level will be there.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to go it in gradually. We have something called acclimatization days, where we hike high and sleep low.
Oh, okay.
So the body can produce more red cells in order to carry the oxygen into the body.
Yeah.
So this one of the challenges that we always have is the altitude sickness. Plus, of course, muscle pain and to be unprepared for backing, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
But altitude sickness, how to avoid it? There are a couple of things we have to do. First, there are some medication you have to take, which reduce the sickness.
Yeah.
Where you feel headache, you lost your appetite, and you cannot sleep. So there are some medication you have to take, which we don't force people to take, but it might help you. The acclimatization days definitely will help you.
Yeah.
And again, the mental part, when you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for this.
And honestly, speaking of preparation, because I remember, I forgot the name, but they call hallucinations that people have while climbing Everest. Because it happens so much and because it's so dangerous, there's a label for it, but I forgot. So after the lack of oxygen, dehydration, the altitudes, all of those combined, a lot of people, begin to see hallucinations. So that's where their mentality has to be, on point. That's where the test really begins.
Exactly, definitely. I agree with you 100%.
And speaking of preparations, you've already mentioned that there are 2 peaks that you've already climbed out of the 7. So let's talk about the preparation process for one of these. Like before you tackle, Kilimanjaro, for example, like where does your preparation come from? Like what's the step A, what's the step B, and so on?
Okay. Step A, again, you have to prepare yourself physically. You have to train to endorse your muscles.
Are there like specific exercises for, these kind of things, or just running and stuff like that?
You don't have to run. Again, there are three important parts to do. Muscle training, where you have to train your legs and your core.
Yeah.
Because of course your core will carry your body and your leg muscles will move it. You have to flex your body by doing some stretching and yogas. And you have to do some running. I would not say running, I will say long walks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because you don't have to walk or fast or run to reach the tops. They always say walk slowly. This is what they call, when we went to Kilimanjaro, they always say poli poli, our guides. And we were just curious, what's poli poli means? And we asked them, and they said slowly, slowly.
Slowly.
So
Yeah.
you have to walk slowly, slowly. If you ask me why, I will tell you, you don't have to burn more calories. Each calorie counts. You need it. You don't need to get tired. That's why you have to walk slowly, and you don't need to burn more oxygen. You need it.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to save your energy. That's why we train our body to take long walks.
Oh yeah.
Walking slowly, long walks. Sometimes with an incline. Sometimes we use stairmasters. Number one advice I always tell people to do is to break the hiking shoes. You have to break it before you go to a hike. You have to use it.
Oh yeah.
You have to use it. You have to get your feet get to use to this hiking boots. You cannot take new hiking boots and go to a trip.
Otherwise, it's gonna fail you at some point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is the most important element is your hiking boots, because it will take you it will share each step with you. It will take you to places. And also we used to, again, in our training, carry our backpack with some weight to get familiar to carrying weight while we're walking.
Yeah. This reminds me, when I was studying in the United States, I was studying Los Angeles. And because LA doesn't have a lot of hiking, so whenever winter comes, there's a place called, I think, is the up north, or is it? I think it was north. So in the north, there's a lodge where there's mountains and stuff.
Okay.
And if you go there near the, hiking season, trekking season, you can see people with their full climbing, suits and everything, climbing gear on the treadmills.
Yeah,
and it's like,
exactly. This is what we do. That's why people sometimes people look at us funny, like what they are doing.
Yeah. But
It's our preparation.
yeah.
We have to prepare. I mean, use our body to carry this backpack with a weight on it, and to break our shoes, our hiking shoes.
Yeah.
So this is normal. If you see it, it's normal. It's normal.
It's normal. It's also, sometimes when you watch it, you feel jealous, right? You want to join them. It's like, I want to be on that adventure.
Exactly. So this is the physical part. Then again, you have to prepare your gear. You have exactly to know what you take. Layering system is very important. You have to know what to wear.
Yeah.
You have to check the weather. Wherever you go, you have to check the weather in order to carry whatever you want to wear. Taking the hiking sticks choosing the hiking sticks is very important. Even the backpack, gloves, hiking shoes, socks, and we always tell people don't use cotton, because you have to use wool. Cotton is number one enemy to a hiker.
Oh.
Yeah, cotton.
Is it because it tears apart quickly?
It doesn't. No, it's not about that. It traps moisture in your body.
So you want something breathable
and to absorb all this moisture in your body, especially in your feet, because you can't get blisters in your feet. If you get blisters, then it's over.
Yeah.
That's why you have to use 100% wool socks.
Oh, mashallah. Yeah.
And if you can't find wool, there's polyester is fine, but cotton, no.
A big no.
And then again, the most important thing, preparation, is the mental part.
Yeah.
What we talked about.
It is. And because we are reaching the end of the episode, I do want to leave you with one question. We've highlighted the three important factors of, before going on climb, the mentality, the physicality of it, the gear. But if you were to put percentages on it, on the importance of each one, like how would you rate them?
Very good questions. Very good questions. I would say 60% mentally,
Oh,
30% physically, 10% gear.
yeah.
Because mentally it's a very important thing. Very. I've seen old people reaching to the top.
MashaAllah.
I've seen very fit people
Yeah.
failed to reach to the top.
MashaAllah.
You see, it's all about mentally.
It's all about mental.
Yes.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm really saddened that we have to wrap this episode because I want to, dive more into the mentality aspect of that, because it's not easy to train, right? It's not as straightforward as going doing exercise, buying gear. The mentality, is very important, but it's very tackled on. Unfortunately, we do have to wrap this up, but I do hope we can talk about this further in the next
Yep.
time.
Yep.
With that in mind, I do want to thank you for joining us, for sitting with us today.
Thank you again for having me, and I hope I delivered again some information and experiences that people might get used to or get benefits in the future.
Well, honestly, you delivered and more. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I wanted to extend it way more beyond the screen time we're allowed, but unfortunately, that's all the time we've had. So again, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, dear viewers, we are going to take a very quick break and we'll come right back after this one. Well, honestly, I do say that a lot, but for this episode, I put a lot of emphasis on it. I'm really saddened that we have to wrap things up. I haven't even come close to all of the questions that I've had for Anwar. I've enjoyed the conversation. I've enjoyed talking about him, about his experiences, and to dive into his journeys. He's a very fascinating individual. And of course, that's the end of today's episode of The Untold. But until the next one, goodbye for now.